Mistakes that will get men dumped or rejected. Here we go. There's like loads of mistakes, right? But I'm going to share with you three big ones. Is that okay? We just do 3 big ones today. First, I will share with you a big one. Then I will share with you a bigger one. Well, for those of you doing organized speech, huh? Pay attention. And thirdly, I'll share with you the biggest one. Here we go. A big one. Thinking that being nice is good enough. Thinking that being nice is good enough. What does it mean to be nice, you know? What are some of the things that men do that are nice to women, you know? Because I'm not saying it's wrong to be nice. I'm saying the mistake is that you think being nice is good enough. You see the difference? All right? You think that being nice is good enough. Let's talk about the underlying psychology, because if you understand that, then this will work for you. Some of the things that men do, you will find their behavior appears to be one of a gentleman. Hey, your mother told you to be a gentleman, no? Your teachers told you to be a gentleman, no? Your sisters also told you to be a gentleman, right? Your female colleagues also have told you to be a gentleman, right? So don't listen to me, huh? Just don't listen to me, listen to everybody else. Being a gentleman and thinking that being a gentleman is good enough simply isn't. It simply isn't, guys. That's one thing you have to establish in your mind. But you've got to do more than that. I'm not saying that it's wrong to hold the door open. Okay? I'm not saying that it's wrong to bring water to the women, right? I'm not saying it's wrong to do that. However, have you ever asked yourself why you do that? Why do I do those things? Because I still feel empty and shallow after that. There's a bit of a thrill when, you know, I get the smiles, but after that, you might even get ignored. Has anyone been nice to a group of women or whatever, and after that get ignored by them? Anyone been in that position? So that, yeah.
As in during parties.
No, we're not trying to blame anybody, right? We're not trying to blame women. I'm simply saying there is an underlying psychology that works here. There's an underlying dynamic at work here. And being nice simply doesn't trigger the good stuff, guys. The good stuff is, I'll use one word, attractiveness or attraction. That's the good stuff. If you can spark attraction, you're onto good stuff, okay? We established that. Being nice simply isn't enough to spark it. It just simply isn't enough. It's fine to be a good guy, but it isn't enough. Now, let's talk a bit more about some of the other nice guys that are out there. So we've got the gentleman, and just want to check, how many of you have been the gentleman before? Yeah, have been the gentleman. How many of you still are the gentleman, pretty much? Okay. Well, we get some honesty in the room. That's very nice. Very nice. No, awareness is the first step. Awareness is the first step to real healing. Okay. Then we get guys who do this. Carry the girlfriend's handbag up. Carry some more. It's fine, no? I'm really not bothered about what you do in your life, but you carry some more, and you see what happens. Beginning of the end, you know, I'm telling you. Carry that bag up, beginning of the end. Why? Why? The underlying psychology. Why? Anyone know why this the beginning of the end, or why it's a bad thing?
Bully.
So, no, you're onto something, right? There is a setting of status, and men, when you carry the handbag, while you might relieve her of 1 kg of physical burden, you then burden her with having to lead the damn relationship. Why? Because the underlying psychology is that you have now given her the job. You carry the physical, she deal with the vision, all this kind of stuff. And it will snowball. It doesn't end there. Remember, I'm not suggesting that it is not okay to do these things. I'm saying understand what happens when you do them. Alright? rescuing the girl, rescuing the princess. The princess always wants to be rescued in the movies. Always wants to be rescued, right? You want to rescue her? You know what? You'll be rescuing for the rest of your life. You want that kind of relationship? You know, some women want that, okay? I'll be honest with you, some women thrive on that. And they will find the white knight that fits perfectly into that pattern. And they will stay locked together for life. But guess who is the happier one? Okay? And of course, if the man's not happy, then how can the woman truly be happy as well, right? So there's this is what I mean by dynamic. You have to understand these things. Okay. Now, being nice actually is either fear or agenda based, usually. Now, there's another alternative, and that is just being nice. For no fear, no agenda. Now, what do I mean by fear or agenda? You might see yourself in this, huh? By the way, this is also applicable to salespeople, okay? Salespeople and your clients. So, fear or agenda based. You are nice, you smile, you do all the right things, you appear as a gentleman. Why? Because you're afraid of something. What might that be? Afraid of the no, right? Afraid of the rejection. You're afraid that you will not get the attraction that you want. Or you're afraid you won't get the sale that you want, or the appointment that you want, or the date that you're asking for. These are real fears for men and salespeople. There's real fears. So if it's fear-based, guess what? The people on the other side, right, the girls or the clients or whatever, if they are savvy, they will smell fear a mile away. Do you follow me? And if they smell fear a mile away, is that very attractive to them? You know, either as a partner in a relationship, or as a date, or as a partner in business, you know, vendor, and it's not attractive at all, right? Sinister. You know, someone wants something from you. Maybe you want to make the sale. You know, and obviously you want to make the sale. But you know, if that is your driving force, as opposed to other concerns, like, are you concerned for the client's welfare in terms of the deal, right? Are you concerned that they get value for what they're paying? If you're not concerned for these, well, if these are lower down on your priority, but the priority is, I want to make the sale, they can smell it a mile away. And you will drive that person away, just like the girl who's will run away, you know, because she has other options. She doesn't need the desperate guy. Okay, so so the agenda can be quite sinister, because someone wants something from you. Sometimes it's not a business deal, and sometimes it's not just this attraction thing. Sometimes it's the guy's self-esteem is so low that guess what he wants from the girl? He wants her to validate him, to silently do something that will make him feel a human being. You know? I think to a certain extent, that's a natural thing. But when your self-esteem is at a point where, and this is more common than you might realize, right? When your self-esteem is at a low point, this validation thing becomes so huge that it tends to drive what you do. You then have an agenda as to why you want to, you know, be nice to someone else. And of course, there are people who want much more than just to be friends. They have the agenda and they're not open about it, but they want to, you know, sleep with you or whatever. I mean, it's fine, you know, you can sleep with whoever you want. I'm not going to judge you. However, there are those who appear to be a gentleman, appear to you know, to help you and rescue you, but they want things that they have not revealed. So that's a bit creepy, isn't it? Because they feel something, right? And then they feel something, and then their behavior is something else, and then what they say is something else.
It's not right.
Yeah. So when these things are not aligned, that's creepy. When these things are aligned, that's a real man. His desires, his actions, and what he says. That's real man. It's called congruency, but we won't talk about that today. Value that. When you overvalue that, you lose something, you know. You lose your sense of value. You lose the perspective of what you bring to the table. Give you an example or an illustration. I'm 50, okay? Right there. In terms of experience scale, 50. 50 years. That's my age, that's my experience. 30 years of failed relationships, which I consider to be unbelievably valuable. Okay? Because I can tell you how it's all going to go wrong. So, I bring that to the table, and other things as well. But let's just say I bring 50 years of experience, of life experience to the table. And let's say I fancy a girl, and the girl is 30. So then what, that's a 20-year gap, right? And this is not beyond, too far-fetched, huh? Have you seen 50-year-old guys fancying 30-year-old girls? Younger girls? Yeah. Getting 21 is about, right? Okay, so now the gap becomes bigger. Now, she's got 21 years, she's got 30 years, whatever it happens to be of experience. Fine. But the gap is still huge. Let's say it's 20 years. Guess what? Which one brings more to this table? The guy or the girl?
The guy.
The guy. In terms of experience, in terms of what's real in life, the guy brings more to the table. 20 years more. Almost double what the girl has. But guess what? Because of whatever reasons, actually, the reason is here. Okay, that's the reason. Because of this, you'll get the guy doing stuff like this, like, you're very pretty, very sexy, very... He will come down here and, you know what I mean? So watch out, guys, when you overvalue her and devalue yourself. I'm not suggesting that you undervalue a woman, okay? I'm suggesting that you see her for what she's worth and you see yourself for what you're worth. That's all. We'll get on to the next one. Now, the next one is not knowing what to actually do. Now, this one is not a one thing. There are 200 things here. I'm going to list just a few, okay? There's many, many things that a guy does not know what to do. So girls, this is true. I'm finding out as well that this is true. Guys do not actually know what to do. In some areas, many areas actually. Here's one. He tries too hard to please, which is of course a bit of thematic with what we just talked about now. Trying too hard to please the girl. Now, is it okay to please another person? It is. However, sometimes you have to ask yourself, why am I pleasing this other person? Is it that I am undervaluing myself? Should they be pleasing me instead? Is it that I'm overvaluing the other person? Is it that I'm afraid of getting rejected by this person and therefore I please? You have to ask yourself these questions. A real man has to ask himself these questions, otherwise he will repeat. I mean, I've been in this wash cycle for many years. Thank God about it. It's terrible now. So he tries too hard to please. Here's another thing. He doesn't realize he's being tested, and so he fails every test up. I want to go out. No. That's a rejection, right? Not really. Well, it could actually be a no, but there are other alternatives. It could be that she's testing you. It could be that she's also maybe trying to set it up so that she's not too easy to be, asked. Not that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just ask. You might have to ask twice. In some cultures, you have to ask 3 times. It's cultural. So guys, don't take it personally. It's simply the way it's done. Rejection doesn't exist. It's simply unfinished business. That's all. When a woman says no now, the truth is that it's no luck, but that's true, okay? But it doesn't mean the truth is permanent. The truth can be temporary. Ask again in 5 minutes now. She goes out, comes back in the room, so how? I'm going to go out. Ask again now. Why? Scared of it. It's okay, though. You won't die. I haven't died, and I've been rejected many times. Oh, here's a nice one. He shares his feelings too soon. You know what?
Big mistake.
It is a big mistake. And often, a guy who is clueless at what to do, he will ask one of the girlfriends of the girl that he's interested in, hey, what should I do?
You tell her?
And okay, first of all, he's now asking for her advice, okay? He's asking for her advice. And what does she say? She will say, tell her how you feel.
Big mistake.
Tell her how you feel. And you look down. I've been there. It doesn't work. If you want to spark attraction, it doesn't work. Telling her how you feel, I won't explain the whole dynamic, but I tell you now, it's the beginning of the end. Okay? I'm not suggesting that you never tell her how you feel, but I'm suggesting, girls, close your ears. Guys, I'm suggesting let her tell you first. Okay? And if she never tells you, you've been wasting your time. Let her tell you first. If she falls in love with you, she's very happy to tell. And then you're also very happy. Okay.
It works both ways.
See, I let her tell me first. I don't stop before the thing. Okay. So we'll leave it there. Those are the mistakes, and well, some of the mistakes that can get men dumped or rejected. And next up for the forum is the forum's on this Sunday night. And what's the topic? Wait for it. This one. Yes, the actual steps required to spark attraction. If you didn't know of it before, I'm telling you, there is a process, and if you know the process, you can go out there, you do not need me anymore. Okay? You can pilot your own ship, huh? Okay? All right, so TUE, back to you.